What do you think are the what are the factors which create poverty in today's world?
There isn't one factor. I mean, the way I look at it, there's this whole complex of factors, and it's actually systemic because there's this whole corporate kind of takeover of not just the economy but the whole state. So the government is controlled and by the corporate, and it's the actions and policies it's making, whether you see it from like the highest level, from what the kind of policies the Home Ministry in Chidambaram make or whatever, it's all to kind of promote this corporate greed. So the benefits of the economy through the policies are reaching only about 2% of the population. I mean, if you just take Delhi and what's happened in the past 10 years, yes, the number of cars have increased, the number of wealth has increased manifold, but whose wealth and whose cars, it would be about like just 3 to 4% of Delhi's population. In fact, 66% of us in Delhi are in slums, 66, which is like a hell of a lot of people. So it's not just about there being no jobs, it's about the whole structure in which jobs are created in KPOs or BPOs and are meant, I mean, they're for only that kind of thing. The government is not looking at, okay, even the NREGA was like this, that was the one like landmark thing created for generating employment for the poor. But what's happened now, the kind of thing they want to do now, even in health or education, is to sell the whole scheme to mechanized corporate sector, so it will be taken over by the private sector, and they say that it will be better implemented and it will be more functional if it's taken over by companies. But the thing is, it will be completely only mechanized, then it won't, this thing that will happen is that 80% of the funds will go to just machines. It won't anymore then be employment generation for people, it will be employment generation for machines. So what's happening is that it's, I mean, the kind of thing that Nandan Nilekani also keeps saying of UID, the ID card thing, and that'll generate more systematic employment. It's only to kind of systematize for the corporates to take, companies to take over and to have manpower for the few manpower they need, and actually systematize and stop mobilization of labor for migration, stop them coming into cities so your cities can remain clean, let them be in their villages and take it over for kind of using of forest and wealth of rivers and all that. So there's to stop the mobilization of labor, stop migration, the kind of things we're hearing even for Commonwealth is that labor shouldn't take your beggars back. I mean, the states are being told to take their beggars back and no migration into Delhi or whatever. It's this kind of like, it's not even in a depth to deal with the kind of population and poverty, but a clear, no, we're not going to look at it. This is not important enough anymore. And what's happened is that the middle class, I feel, who've been able to, over the past 50 years or so, come into this new wealth, have become too comfortable to look or to raise the kind of voice that's required to meet these goals of employment generation, or looking at slum sector, looking at what they need in terms of basic necessities of food and water. So this whole section of like 66% in Delhi are trying to just live, they're trying to get by. The middle class are too happy and comfortable, and the 2-3% of the rich are the ones who are eating up all the wealth. So this is created by this whole kind of like greed network. And I mean, it's industry that's kind of taken over of anything that's supposed to be development. The kind of development that's the definition of development is a definition given by those who are bought by greed. So what you mean by development is not development in terms of the basic necessities or looking at what the mass population in villages or in slums or urban poor need. It's development defined, development for those urban elite or those owning like Vedanta or huge corporates. I mean, they've taken over not only the country, but that's what's ruling the world. So it's not, I mean, there's no more, it doesn't fit into the paradigm of development to actually help bring up the poor, actually do it. And it's almost like you need poverty, the kind of thing that's there, the kind of paradigms that are there, like you need suppression so as to have the kind of low wage people you need for building metros. Or I mean, even if you just look at, we did the survey of people who are working at Commonwealth sites in Delhi University itself. There is no system of daily wage payment. There is no system of the low minimum wage. You're paid in terms of kharcha, which is just like about 50-60 when you really need it. Kharcha is given for food or water. So to be able to have this kind of loot and to be able to have this kind of like not even minimum, absolute no wage payment, to have this you need complete suppression. So there isn't even a want to bring about a change in terms of employment or basic necessities or improve the conditions of those huge number of people who are just not being able to live. So poverty is not just a phenomena that's happened and people are trying to do something about it. It's a systemic creation. It's a whole system that's created it.